Chris, what is our first main topic today?
This comes from Steve Calderon. Hey, John and team. Dragon Ball Super Superhero won the top spot at the domestic box office with an impressive $20.1 million. The anime film earned twice as much as the weekend's other new release, Beast, which opened to a modest $11.5 million. I hardly seen any marketing for Dragon Ball. How did the anime score this box office win, and what went wrong with Beast?
Well, I mean, let's start with Beast for a second. With Beast, which was a movie I enjoyed. I mean, it stretched the limits of believability a little bit here and there, absolutely, but it was a really tense movie. Like, I felt the tension in it, and I love movies that deliver a solid experience like that, so I had a good time with Beast. But the reality is, I don't know if there's anything went wrong with it. I don't know that this movie was ever going to make much more than that. They certainly didn't market it much. I really didn't see much marketing for it at all, which is surprising considering you had a star like Idris Elba in the lead there. Maybe they just didn't know how to market or what the question was, but I never once felt any heat for this movie. Like, leading up to it, even when I remember saying, hey, I'm looking forward to seeing Beast this week, and everybody's like, seeing what? Like, it just was a thing. I don't know that this movie was ever going to make more than that, to be honest with you. And it's too bad, because it's one of those movies that doesn't deserve to be a $100 million opening weekend kind of a movie, but it's a movie that definitely deserved better. And it's a solid little film. I enjoyed it. Now, with Dragon Ball making $20 million opening weekend and taking top spot, that just affirms that there are a lot more virgins in this country than we thought there were. I kid. I just, as a Star Wars fan, I had to be the recipient of that for all my life. So it just feels good to dish it out a little bit. But no, really. I mean, here's the truth story. Me and Ann went to the theater to go see Beast. We got there, and there's a group of our friends standing there, and we thought they were going to see Beast too. Nope. It was Hong, and it was Ryan, and it was Matt, all standing there. Hey, guys, you going to see Beast too? Like, nope. All virgins. Every single one of them. Even the one that's a father. All virgins.
Whoa.
All virgins.
Immaculate conception.
They're like, are you guys going to see Beast too? Nah, man, we're here to see Dragon Ball. To which, of course, I said, I'm going to make a bold prediction. At some point, the line, we've never seen power levels like this, is going to be said. And they just said, you shut your dirty mouth. But anyway, that was the whole conversation that. But listen, 20 million... it would not by any movie's standards be considered blowing the doors off box office huge. But we're talking about an anime, right? And you don't generally see these movies that do manage to get theatrical releases get these types of numbers. This is, by any metric, this is impressive, what it was able to do. I mean, don't bother comparing it to Beast. Beast, I don't know that Beast makes another red cent if Dragon Ball came out this weekend or not. So they really had nothing to do with it. But I think this is an impressive number for something like this. Anyway, this comes to us from the folks over at The Hollywood Reporter who write the following. Dragon Ball Super Superhero, by the way, it's a dumb title. Dragon Ball Super Superhero opened to an impressive 20.1 million plus at the North American box office, easily enough to win the weekend. Crunchyroll, which is distributing the Japanese movie in North America, says the sequel is scoring the best global opening ever for an anime film. Overseas, the film opened to $12 million from 32 markets, including $11.2 million from markets handled by Sony Pictures International. Among those turning out to see Dragon Ball Super 2, males, this is surprising, males made up 75% of the ticket buyers in the US, while 70% of the audience was between the ages of 18 and 35. But here's a really impressive number. The last Dragon Ball movie that got a theatrical release opened to a not bad $9.8 million. This one more than doubled it. Doubled it.
Double the power levels.
It goes up
Over
to
9,000.
18,000 now. It's 18,000 now. Listen, I don't care. When you have a sequel or I mean, this wasn't exact. There's been thousands of Dragon Ball things, but when you have another film come out in a franchise, it doesn't matter what the franchise is, and the new one doubles the box office results of the previous one, there's no other way to cut it. That's super impressive. Now, I know they went very heavy with an online marketing campaign strategy, and that seemed to work out very well. And just the key is this. They got everybody who's a Dragon Ball fan to go. Because there are people in my life that I didn't even know were Dragon Ball fans. Because I only found out because they went to go to the theaters this weekend to go see it. So they got that audience, they got that fan base, however big it is, they motivated that fan base to all go out and see it, and the results were incredible. This is nothing but a big win for this movie, and impressive. And I think you might start to see this influence, because what was the name of the other movie that came out earlier this year? There was another anime movie that came out, and it was a supernatural kind of thing.
Was Demon Slayer?
It was Demon Slayer. That did really well at the box office as well. this could turn into, I think other studios are going to start paying real attention to this. And the distributors in North America are going to start looking more and more into that Japanese market to say, what can we take and distribute around the world? We want to take a moment and thank the sponsor of this video, BetterHelp. Guys, long gone are the days that we could afford to just ignore our emotional and mental health. And it's also time that we got over this idea that seeking emotional and mental health is some kind of sign of weakness. You know, when we want to get more physically healthy, we go to the gym and we're proud of that to get our physical bodies healthier and stronger. Well, it's time we gave the same kind of importance to our mental and emotional health, and that's where our friends at BetterHelp come in. BetterHelp is online therapy that offers you video therapy, on the phone, or even live chat only therapy sessions. And I know a lot of people have thought about starting therapy, but they get held up with the idea that it's going to be really expensive. Well, BetterHelp is much more affordable than traditional in-person therapy. So listen, guys, it's time for us to start taking our mental health far more seriously. Our listeners of the John Campea Show get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/Campea. That's betterhelp.com/Campea. Anyway, Rob, you see these results. What do you think about it and what stands out to you?
Oh, it doesn't surprise me at all because anime is hugely influential now. I mean, I was at Elizabeth's graduation from Arts Center and they were showing people's work, you know, graduates' work. So much of the work was anime influenced. I was surprised. I was like, wow, like I would say like 90% of it was. Anime is huge. And Dragon Ball is one of the pillars of modern Japanese animation. I mean, isn't it one of the biggest? I mean,
it's grown exponentially in the past 2 years, particularly in the US.
Yeah, it's huge. And so for our viewers to go out that are anime fans to go out and see this, I think it would probably be, look, I really wish that we would get animation like Space Battleship Yamato 2205, the movies released here. They're not going to be because they're not playing the modern shows here. But Dragon Ball is aired. I mean, Dragon Ball gets advertising every day from different markets, Crunchyroll, wherever. I mean, and the fact that Crunchyroll is also a hugely influential outlet for anime. And who just bought it? Somebody just bought, did Sony buy it?
Or did Sony's the one that sold it?
Did they sold it? Someone who bought it. Anyway.
Or were they the ones that bought it? They might have been the ones that bought it, actually.
I know Sony's actually distributing the movie.
Market.
Yeah, I mean it's an incredible thing, and it doesn't surprise me.
Anyway, what do you think about all this, Chris? What stands out to you in this?
It is Sony who acquired Crunchyroll, I believe, because they also took in Funimation, so there's going to be a big merger of those two things. What stands out the most is that anime fans show up. They show up. DBZ has a lot going for it because you, one, can get the nostalgia factor of people who grew up around my age and watched Toonami and came home from school and were like, oh, I can watch Dragon Ball and Sailor Moon right back to back. I can watch Gundam Wing. Hell yeah. Anime fans show up. So I think that's a big part of it too. I do think this is also going to, one of the things I can come from here is as a voice actor, Crunchyroll is very, very committed to working with actors in Texas, which is fantastic. It's so great that Texas dubbing actors get to do so much work. However, they are not getting paid the same rate that other people get paid to do voiceover. And these movies are making tons and tons of money, millions of dollars. So I'm really, really hoping that this gets these actors to talk about unionizing in a right to work state because they are missing out on a lot of money. And these voice actors are really prolific to the community too. Even if you're not a fan of dubs, a lot of people who are into anime do cite a lot of these voice actors with the characters, and there's a real sense of community there. So I hope all the actors, like the Japanese actors, the American actors, are getting the money they should be paid.
One of the other things that should be said about something like Dragon Ball Z is while it is nowhere near at the level of, say, a Star Wars, like a Star Wars, it's true, but like Star Wars, it has cultivated fans that be fans for like 20 years.
Yeah.
I have friends of mine. I was just telling you a story about my friend David Seabart. He's the one who actually sat me down one weekend. This is like many, many moons ago when I still lived in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada. He said, you got to come over and watch a show, Dragon Ball Z, with me. He had like a whole ton of them burned on CDs. So like, all right, let's sit down, or DVDs, and let's sit down and watch this. And it wasn't for me. Like I watched about 8, 9, 10 episodes. Like, it's just not for me. But guys like him and other friends that I have been fans faithfully of it for coming on decades, right? And even some of the biggest IP, you don't see that kind of maintained fan loyalty like a Star Wars, like a Star Trek, like a Lord of the Rings sort of thing. And while I'm not saying Dragon Ball Z is the next Star Wars or Star Trek or Dragon Ball or anything like that, it is freaking impressive. And the fact that he's getting these types of results now, I think you're going to see studios take notice. Anyway, guys, you know what? I got to throw this over to Ray, because you have a lot of Dragon Ball figures. And I was surprised when I saw Hong and Matt and Ryan at the theater that you weren't there with them. Why didn't you go see this?
I told you my foot was hurting that
your
day.
foot was bothering
But
you.
I will tell you this. Dragon Ball is one of the series where I actually end up liking the villains, all the villains from the arcs, a lot more than the heroes. Like that. Like I love Perfect Cell, Boo, obviously. I can't wait to see this because I think it has it's two androids that are the new villains in this one. They look kind of corny, but I hope it's good. I plan to see this week sometime.
Okay, I'm going to
hopefully.
blow your mind now. All the way back from when I can actually name some Dragon Ball characters. I can name Gohan.
Ooh.
I can't remember what his son's name is. Go Ron. Go Ted. I can't remember.
Take the day off, John. You earned it.
Sohan. It's similar to
Goku
Gohan.
and Gohan.
What's that?
Goku and Gohan.
Goku and Gohan. It's always that. I know the guy with the little man complex, Vegeta. That's like, he was a villain, but then he became a hero or something like that. And then I know my buddy loves the green one. I think his name is Piccolo. And that's
You're doing it, Peter.
That's as far as I can go. You're doing it, Peter. I love that. You're doing it. That's as far as I can go.
There's
That's
Krillin,
a
there's
really
Bulma.
great hook reference, by the way.
Thank you.
Good on you for
Thanks.
pulling out that hook
Yeah.
reference. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? It doesn't matter how you try to cut it. This is a remarkable result for this movie, and I think studios are going to take notice. Do you, or do you think this was a flash in the pan? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and leave your thoughts there.